Morning, everyone. It's about 6:15 here, Tuesday, October 24th. Just gonna get started for the day, taking a look at what happened on Monday, as well as seeing if there's anything worth playing today. So, first up, we got the S&P 500 futures on the board. As we can see yesterday here on our daily chart, you can see this nice wide-ranging balance day. Had a total range of 67 points. Most of the downside coming in the overnight session, Sunday night, Monday morning. The European session really pushed it hard lower. It rallied out of that with kind of some back and forth initially on the US session open. As you can see here on the daily as well, let's just zoom out real quick. Had a nice undercut of this previous swing low here from October 4th. We got a nice undercut of it below our bear pivot for the week at 42.45. Wasn't able to close down there below it though. Wasn't able to hold below this area. After a few days of downside and kind of balancing out, we could be seeing just a pause here before we see continuation in the downtrend. Or we could have just gone and tripped some stops down here. This could be showing that we've got a kind of a double bottom support here, not necessarily for a big rally or anything, but could be pausing. Yesterday's high was 42.80. Bids above that should get us, pushing back up, pushing higher for a little bit. So I'm probably going to lower that bull pivot down there. If we get a close above that 42.80 area, that'll be a good spot to start thinking about getting long here. Let's drop down, take a look. So as I said, yesterday's U.S. or European session had that breakdown, pulled back, looked like we were going to sell in the U.S. session. And initially, right at 7:30, we did get a nice little, about 17-point breakdown or so. We opened there at 31, put in the low at 42.13. Had the initial push lower, but it was, after just probing that overnight low, had a nice rejection, and we ended up rallying all the way up to 42.80 throughout the day. So, we had 67 points worth of range all in the first few hours of the day there, before settling back right into the middle of the range for the close yesterday. This kind of action and seeing these lower time frame moving averages start to flip here this morning makes me think that we could start putting some pressure. We have this also relative high over here at 42.80. The 5-day moving average is coming down. I believe on the daily chart that's actually at 42.80. Let's take a look. Yeah, 42.83 right there, the purple number. So if we can get prices pushing above that previous high and getting above that 5-day average, should give us a reversal on the short time frame trend, and could push us higher. So and so far the overnight action looks pretty supportive. We've got some support coming out of the Asian session. Kind of a breakdown initially, but supported it in that same area. We've kind of got a value area built up here, anywhere from like 42.60 to 42.45. So we're seeing pretty supportive action. We've kind of been putting in some green bars here this morning, so we'll see if this momentum can push us higher into the U.S. session. So we do have Fed Chairman Powell speaking today after the close. Going to be during the evening sessions, so that's something we got to think about tonight. So we'll see what else what we get here today. So next up, let's jump over to crude oil. Yesterday I was looking for I wasn't trading oil, but I was kind of anticipating continuation of the long side. However, we did get a nice breakdown below that previous, that Friday low. Also below our bear pivot of 86.50 for the week. So, and kind of a back and forth overnight session yesterday. That opening range was right there in that 87.63 to 87.48, 49, give or take. As you can see, we had multiple rejections and pullbacks to that 1 minute opening range before finally giving up and breaking down later, between 9 and 10 o'clock, pushing lower, closing near the lows for the day. And below that bear pivot. So this is kind of telling me, at this point below this level, we're going to be looking for shorts. I got nothing on the agenda for today, but we could just be seeing a pullback, as over here on the daily, we've dropped down into that 20-day and 50-day moving average cloud. Could be just picking up some more buyers from this area, but so we'll see how we act here. This isn't one that I'm really looking to get involved with, even though we do have these declining moving averages. We've tested them from above, or excuse me, from below, and seeing some selling pressure here and a short-term downtrend. So so far, looks like the bears are in control of this one, but I'm not really seeing anything that makes me want to get short in this market at the moment. But the shorts are in control, so at least on our short-term time frame. So that's one I'm just in wait and see mode at the moment. We'll kind of see how today's action plays out, see if we kind of get that support or continue downside. Next up, we've got gold. Yesterday we had a pretty balanced type day. Couldn't quite get any momentum to either side. The initial sell-off came in the Asian session with the initial open on Sunday and Sunday evening. Then we just chopped up and balanced in a fairly tight range between 83 and 93, basically all day, before kind of settling down near the lows. Well, not the lows, but near the lows of the day sesh. So close to 83, and then overnight we had the European session kind of break this thing down below my bear pivot for the week, which is 83. Kind of stepped in with support at 65 to 70. We've seen a good, nice long wick here on the low time frame, but I do think that this correction is kind of underway. After this huge rally, I think that this is more than due for a pullback. I would like to see some more continued downside. This isn't one that I necessarily want to get short in, but going to be waiting for supportive action to come in and get ready to get long and buy this dip. But got to let that play out for a little while. If you're short here, that was a nice entry point. That was a nice entry off the European session breakdown. So could see some continued downside here. And so yeah. Seeing gold get into corrective territory. Let's see how much more she's got in her, and hopefully we can get a nice setup for a long opportunity later in the week or maybe next week. So at the moment, just kind of sitting tight on that one as well. Next up, we've got the December live cattle, which saw one of the largest volume days I've seen in a long time, as well as the biggest one-day downside move that I've seen, I think, ever, due to the expanded limits that they put in within the last year or two. I can't remember when they did that, but we've got expanded limits instead of $3. I think the limit is $6.75 these days, maybe more. I don't even know. Never seen it. Anyways, had the nice gap and go. We had that cup and handle that looked incredibly bearish with that breakdown at $1.84 1/4. Didn't even have a chance to touch it. We had the gap down to $1.83. What was that opening price there at? 83.65. Never looked back, just printed reds all day long until the last hour or so of the day when we settled down here at 78.5. Real big breakdown. If you aren't short already, I don't know if you want to bother getting involved after a day like that. I feel like we're going to see some volatility, some choppy. I think the momentum is clearly to the downside here, but at this point it's pretty extended. We're about $8 lower than these moving averages, which gives us pretty extended price at the moment. Looking ugly out there, not a good look. Watch out. Don't be trying to pick this bottom, or don't be trying to just be careful on the short side as well. This volatility can be crazy. So same story here in the January feeders. Had a little smaller gap, however, nonetheless, we did have a nice gap and run here as well. We opened up at 42 1/4 ish, ended up giving, you know, about $7, close to $7 on the day on that one. So pretty ugly action. Another real high volume day. Um, Man, that's a big breakdown. We've seen $33 shaved off this thing over the course of, a little over a month here. So about 5 weeks. Watch out, that one's not pretty. And next up, we've got corn, which looks to be giving up our breakout, kind of the fake out breakout here. We pushed lower yesterday, nothing major, and then continued with this push. We're getting below that 487, which is my bear pivot for the week. So, this could be a failed breakout. It looks like we're kind of breaking down the bottom end of that trend line. Not a good look for bulls. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I was definitely wrong on this one at the moment. We'll see if we get a probe below it and recovery today. If we kind of recover and push back near the highs, then I think that the bulls could be just using this as a extreme downside, kind of reload in some of this area. But not a lot of corn's just been a tough one recently. Lots of kind of choppy, rangy action, tight ranges, kind of the fake out breakout there. Um, not the best look. Looks like we could be breaking down out of this. Could push us back to 475, but this is a market that I've had a real tough time getting a read on recently. So just be careful playing this one. That's about all I got. Why not? Let's take an honorary look at old Bitcoin. Had a heck of a move recently. We've gone from about 27,000 to 35,000 over the course of what 2 weeks, 10 days here. Pretty gnarly run up there. This is something I don't trade, but something that I like to keep an eye on. And yeah, pretty solid move. Looks like Bitcoin's back. All right, boys and girls, let's have a great day today. Be careful out there. Stay safe. Have a good trading day, everybody.